All right, it is Wednesday, September 2nd, 6:30 p.m. We are This Fans View live on Wednesday night, and we have Carl, John, Lauren, and myself. AP is absent tonight. John, what do we got?
Well, we have another special week this week with Who Wore It Best, number 28. We recap number 27. Ron Hextall ended up winning. Another Flyer was a winner. And he almost had another record. He got just pushed 915 votes, so he was almost another broke in the poll on there. That was a good turnout. We had over 1,350 people.
No comment. I won't say how great hockey guys are. It's okay.
Oh, well, hey,
it's all good.
We had a nice Flyers talk last week, and everybody voted. It's good to see. We have a lot of Flyers. Faithful in Philadelphia.
Hexy's still loved in this town.
Absolutely. I mean, half of this team was his guys. So,
And the other half was his team too.
Right. And so, we have a special matchup this week with number 28. We have World Series champion Jason Worth for the Phillies, 2009 All-Star. The Mr. Hulk with the beer through the parade. A big key of the 08 World Series team. For the Eagles, we have Bill Bradley, a 3-time Pro Bowler, Eagles Hall of Famer in 1993.
Who stiffed us a few shows ago.
He did.
I wasn't going to mention it.
I am. He stiffed us. I'll get with you guys. I'll get back and okay.
Well, maybe he was trying to wait and see how this poll worked. If he wins, and then he'll come back because he'll be bragging about him.
Guess what?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to work out in his favor.
Right. and then as on cue here, our captain last night getting his first goal, Claude Giroux, number 28 for the Flyers. He stepped it up. He knew he was going to be needing some votes tonight, and he's there, number 28 for the Flyers, 6-time All-Star, 257 goals with the Flyers, 558 assists, and our captain of our team. And then for those 76ers, we got that Andrew Lang, who is ever known for the Charles Barkley trade. And that's about all I got for him. He played center, too.
Seriously, yeah. I didn't research it, but you looked for somebody, right? You just didn't.
I did.
You didn't come up with the first guy, right?
No, there was 3 other stiffs behind them. Andrew Lang.
We're going to be in trouble, aren't we?
Yeah, well, the Sixers right now they're going to struggle from the rest of the way out because they have a lot of low numbers. So until we get to 34 with Barkley, we'll have a little bit of a resurgence there, but that'll be a tough one for Barkley at 34. But then we have for the outsider Marshall Faulk, Super Bowl champion, 7-time Pro Bowler, MVP of the league in 2000, and I believe he's also a Hall of Famer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he is.
So he, part of the greatest show on turf, but we won't hold that against him tonight, or maybe we will for beating us at Eagles.
He played in Philly, right? That's all that matters, right?
He did. He did. He did.
We'll stick with that.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. Okay. Jack doesn't like Bill Bradley.
No, he likes the other Bill Bradley.
Right.
who happened to be a basketball player also.
Yeah. But so that's our matchup this week. And so, Mario, who do you have?
I flip-flop back and forth on this one and kind of flipped a coin and ended up with Jason Worth.
There you go.
Yeah. It was between him and Giroux. I was going to go with him, but I think the World Series kind of pushed him over the edge for me. So
sure, that works. Lauren?
I'm gonna go with Claude Giroux for tonight.
There you go.
She knows
Very good.
tomorrow's her birthday.
I know she's trying to get an extra present stashed in there tomorrow.
Tomorrow's her birthday, folks. So if anybody wants to wish her a happy 30th birthday, go right ahead.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting that in there.
Yeah, I wasn't going to miss an opportunity.
Well, I was
Where
gonna say,
the hell? I remember when you were like 12. You know what? What happened to them 18 years?
I don't know. I don't know either. Sorry.
you just ruined my closing remarks by putting that in there. So I was going to sneak that in.
That can't be your takeaway. Come on, that might be you're getting out of here. That's what that might be. So I guess I'm up for Claude Giroux, number 28, our captain, the guy to getting his ass kicked because he didn't score a goal in 26 games and all that happy horse shit.
Yeah.
Not buying any of it. Not buying any of it. He's not there. The team is not there without him. He's the captain. He's played on a lot of bad teams for the Flyers, but let me tell you, try wearing the C in the city of Philadelphia, the pressure. Everybody can break your stones anytime they want. I just don't get it. Guys are allowed to go into slumps. They all went into slumps. I can't vote for Jason Wirth as much as I love him. He was in the store twice, 08 champ. He went to Washington, left us high and dry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't vote for him. Bill Bradley, he stiffed the show. I can't vote for him. And I don't know Andrew Lang, so I can't vote for him.
Gotcha.
That's all pretty fair, but I mean, Jason Wirth did go where the money was.
No doubt. No doubt.
And while he was here, he was good for us.
Yeah,
he
but
was fun.
we put up with him. You know what I mean? He was on the disabled list. He was hurt. He was this. He was that. We put up with him. You know what I mean? He got the job done. I love him. He's a great guy. Had him in the store twice. He was drunk both times.
Really?
But no, Claude Giroux's the guy. He's the captain, and win, lose or draw, he's going to get his butt kicked because that's what we do here in Philly.
Right.
And it's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. But Google his numbers. Look at what he's done over the years.
How did he do that?
Is he in a slump? Absolutely, no doubt about it. But I'll tell you what, he put the team on his back last night. And, I thought they were going to let it get away. I really did. It scared me.
Got to have the faith.
I'm looking forward. Kidding me? I am Mr. Faith. You know what I mean? I'm all ready for tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, John, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Yeah. What do you got?
Mr. Baseball.
I am going to go also with Claude Giroux.
Wow.
So I'm the one that screwed up screwed it up this time. Wow.
Yes. Just because yes, he's struggling right now a little bit, but I mean, he's had a lot of good years here. Like I said, six-time All-Star. It's not. He's put up a lot of good years. I mean, Jason Wirth is a good player as well. But he was, on that 08 team. What was he? 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th best player on the team. When you go ranking down through it, so not taking anything away from him as well on that, but I think Claude's got to be the guy. He's taking the team, and they all follow his lead right now. So let's do it. So
Brian Brown has added many comments and questions and different things along the time that he's been here on the show. But the hit that G put on,
that was
Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
And he's bringing that to light here. Absolutely.
That was
absolutely. That's just one of the small things, that he's done for this team. He's endured several coaches, some bad coaches, some good coaches. But But I
Plus, he was part of the team that was down 3-0, came back.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he's going to be this. He's going to do it twice for us.
I hope so. Tomorrow night's going to be huge. What's everybody doing for the game? Any special? Anything special?
I haven't decided yet.
Right in front of my TV. I got to keep reporting. Got to keep reporting all the scores.
Yep.
All right, and I'll keep liking them.
Yep.
You got to
Exactly.
stop stealing all them people's photos. You're gonna get sued.
As long as there's not a watermark on there, you're good.
Oh, there you go.
He drinks a lot of water.
They do. I'm sure there'll be a watermark at some point. Yep. But,
So seriously, I mean, I've commented on Giroux. What do you guys? I know, Lauren, you've got your opinion, and I what are you thinking?
What's my opinion?
Well, I mean, I've seen little tidbits of things out there. You know what I mean?
What tidbits of things? I've never ever posted a thing about Claude Giroux. What tidbit do you think you have?
I'm curious what you're thinking. Is it right? Is it right? Is it wrong, or is it just the fans of Philadelphia just bashing somebody? Do they have the right? Do they have the right to bash him?
I don't think they have the right to bash him, but that doesn't really mean anything in Philadelphia.
Right.
But no, I think he is a very strong veteran presence in the locker room that we don't get to see. So just because he hasn't scored as much as we would have liked in the playoffs, it doesn't mean that behind the scenes he isn't making the magic of the Flyers team happen. I would love to have a Claude Giroux type player on the Sixers. Somebody in the background, keeping the team together, keeping them motivated and excited and energetic. And maybe he's just sitting back, letting these young guys do their thing. Being a veteran doesn't always mean being in the spotlight. Being the captain doesn't always mean being in the spotlight. It can just be keeping the team glued together, the magic running every night. And that's what I think he brings to that team. He's been the captain for 10 years now? That's a long time. That's a long time to give one guy the C. So, yeah, I think behind the scenes he does a lot more than any of us really maybe give him credit for.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, absolutely.
All right.
Well, plus he does all the little things, the face-offs and
Right.
He's chipping in, making the goal last night, just getting in front of the net, doing the dirty work. So, you can't. I mean, we're always going to be tough on him because we want everybody to keep doing everything great.
Philly's on everybody, especially when you're the captain and you're supposed to be the big show.
Well, of course that, but you also know, hey, we know you have it more within you to do better, and not that, not that he's not doing, he's just not scoring as far as being better, but we just want to see him come out and do what we know he can do,
Right.
Especially when the team is not struggling, but having those tough games, you want to like to see it. Like he did with the Pittsburgh one, with coming out and getting Claude Giroux or Sidney Crosby there, and got the team pumped up. In that first series, then scored the goal right there afterwards. It was like boom. He set the tone. So yeah.
Joe Stinger brings up a great question. Who else? Has it been 10 years that he's worn the C? I didn't realize. I mean that went by fast. But who else? I mean, he was on, early on in his career, he was on some bad teams.
Yeah.
Do we have anybody that could wear the captain's C and
right now
do what he does? I mean, since he's been on the team.
I mean, it's it's a good question because
Couturier.
Couturier's Hayes right now.
Hayes will be the other guy.
Hayes is probably one
Kevin
of them
Hayes is
guys
stepping
that
up.
that could be it.
It's been 7 years.
Seven years.
But that's still,
That's
in
a long
hockey,
time.
I feel like that's a long time.
It's a long time. Yep.
Kevin Hayes, I would like him to get his feet a little bit wetter here in Philadelphia before they just go and give him the thing.
Yep.
I would like for him to kind of earn his wings a little bit as a flyer. I understand he's got his wings as a hockey player, but as a flyer before we give him that.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We got to win tomorrow night, right? Win tomorrow night. We force a game 7.
Win or die.
Oh, yeah.
We force a game 7.
Yeah.
What I'm curious since we're diving into this hockey talk. Any Shane Gostisbehere fans out there? Because boy, you talk about disappearing.
He is a ghost.
Oh, John, come on.
But he's got one of my favorite inscriptions in the history of all Philadelphia athletes.
Which is?
He draws out a ghost and a bear. And
There you go.
that's great. I think that's awesome. I love that. But that doesn't mean anything when you can't put pucks in it.
True.
Man, I can remember when we were so fired up, about him as a young defenseman. Signed him to, a fresh contract, and I don't know. He's not fulfilling his his contract, and I don't know. Maybe he's just one of those players that can't play, the coach's system. But then you have Philip Myers, undrafted player, right? And he just kind of stole the limelight, stole the position. And he put Ghost on the shelf.
Ghost is still young, and he has time to develop. Especially for a defensive guy, he'll play until he's 50. With the way genetics are nowadays, if he wants to play, he's got the skills. It's just sometimes he rushes a little bit too much to make the special play instead of and gives the puck up a little bit, type of thing. So if he just learns to do a couple of little things here and there.
I was a huge Ghost fan, still am, because I think he's still got that big shot, but that seems to be so do the other guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had who took that shot last night.
Proves.
They've all developed a big shot. Flyers are deep. They got a lot of depth. They're going to be able to do some things this offseason, and hopefully you can never have enough speed and enough scoring. So
Right.
They seem to be set with their goaltender. They finally got their franchise goaltender. Their defense is set, but you never have enough. You never have enough scoring, and you never have enough speed.
Right. Oh yeah.
So do they win tomorrow night? Do they force a game 7?
I believe the momentum has swung back to the Flyers after last night.
I would have to agree with that. Absolutely. I don't like that it went to overtime, but they won, so that's what matters.
I didn't like those 2 goals that they gave up when they were up 3-1.
And they're pretty quick too.
Yeah, they were quick. They were kind of sloppy. So I wasn't a big fan of those. But they got the job done. But
Right.
I think I lost 3 years of my life. But it's fine.
I can't afford to lose 3, and
I just think it's a good thing that we were up 3-1. Otherwise, game over. So,
I think we really we took it to them. The lead was awesome. I know they got back in the game, but man, how about Carter Hart? The saves he was making.
Yep.
The kid's legit.
They seemed to really have taken it up a notch in overtime.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I would like to see that play carry over into the game.
exactly right.
They definitely in overtime played like, oh shit, our ass is on the line.
Right.
So I want that momentum for 60 minutes, not it's overtime.
So Game 6 and Game 7 are overtime games.
Well, yeah. I mean, but that was also the first time they had that experience for most of the guys, doing it as an elimination game. So that's, good experience for them. Carter Hart got good experience of that to carry over to Game 6 now, and and then when you get to Game 7, anybody's got a chance right there.
But the difference between last night and the previous games, they were getting outshot 2-3-1. And last night was pretty even.
Early on, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Early on, they got. I was like, "Whoa, we gotta stop this."
But they stepped it up.
Yeah,
They
did.
stepped it up and they kept it pretty even.
Yep.
So, and that says a lot about Hart because you're getting outshot by that much and not losing by that much. It says a lot.
I don't think they're short on talent. I think the Islanders just have this insane amount of energy. And that just seems to really stump the Flyers.
You think they play better as a unit?
They just come out guns blazing and just get out of their way or you're going to get pummeled. And the Flyers just don't come out with that same type of energy unless their back's against the wall.
Right. Well, guess what? Their back's against the wall for the next 2 games.
Their backs were against the wall last night. And, the first period, they looked like shit. And then they got it together for the second and the third. And then, like I said, in overtime, they really killed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just music to my ears about all this hockey talk. I love it. guys are really bringing it tonight. I love it.
Well, hey, you got something to talk about with the hockey team.
Yeah.
The playoffs hockey, it's fun. And especially nowadays.
I think if I remember correctly, Carl, you said it was going to go 7.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I just, the Islanders are a tough matchup. Plain and simple, they're a tough matchup. But their strengths, develop a lot of weaknesses for us. They put us in some tough spots. But Jack's been explaining a lot of things, on my morning posts and whatnot. Just not getting pucks deep, just not getting pucks on net. You got to win. You got to go for them dirty goals. You got to win them puck battles.
Yeah.
It's all about, winning them puck battles and not giving it up. And that's what they did last night. I mean, I just thought there was a lot of energy last night, and I think it's going to carry over tomorrow night as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of faith. I think Carter Hart's starting to develop a little chemistry with the guys in front of him. He's only going to start to play better. And the future is bright for this team. I mean, it really, really is. So I'm looking forward to it. Phillies are. How about the Phillies? The Phillies are playing well.
Yep.
Huh?
Yes,
Phillies
they
are
are.
playing well.
Yep.
So how do you get the bullpen under control, the pitching's under control?
Yep.
Girardi, you can see a lot. Girardi's doing so much, moves and everything to pushing the right buttons.
Yep. How about JoJo Romero? Is he one of your drinking buddies, Lauren, at after the games?
No, they traded him away. What was that guy's name that went to the Yankees?
Oh, Edison Russ.
Yeah, he was my drinking buddy.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. JoJo, there's a young talented arm. He never threw 95 before. All of a sudden, he's throwing 95 and he struck out the side the other night.
Yeah.
What I mean?
In his debut.
You know what I mean? So I think, there too, I'm a huge Joe Girardi fan. Love Joe. Hated him with the Yankees, love him with the Phillies.
Right.
He killed us in 2009, stole our trophy, and but I think that team is, there's some obviously some moves to make. I'm curious. I haven't seen anything, but the Pandemic Crew had a visit from one John Middleton the other night. Is he
You
going
haven't seen anything.
with him talking to people like, patient?
You got a shirt, you got an air horn.
Yeah, but I'm talking about signing JT Realmuto.
Oh,
Well, he's not going out there and saying, "No, guys, we don't have the money."
that's not going to happen till the end of the year.
Yeah.
End of the season.
It's going to happen though, right?
Yeah.
Who's the only one here on this show tonight that thinks it's not going to happen?
Nobody.
There's only one guy.
It's
Come on, John. You're supposed to raise your hand. That was your cue.
Well, no, it's not. It's not that I don't think he's not going to sign here. It's just a matter of.
All right, you're backpedaling now, pal.
No, I'm not. It's just getting him to free agent. If you let him go to free agency, it's going to be a lot harder. Like a lot of the, they were talking today on the MLB channel. Like if he gets to free agency, he's not going to come here. So they're going to get it done before the season is over.
They're not going to let him get to free agency.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the season, that week that they have, if they don't sign him then, and he actually gets to free agency, he's going to leave. Or we're going to be paying him $200 million to be here. Because there's going to be
You're saying he's not worth $200 million?
Oh no, I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying I don't know that the Phillies are going to pay him that much money. The Phillies have their number. They got, it's a 5. Everybody keeps talking right now. It's 5 years. Well, I've heard 6 or 7 years that teams are going to give them. So if the Phillies are only going to go 5, I don't know that that's going to get it done. So I mean, like I said, I love. We were sitting there right where you're at right now, Carl, talking to him, and he wants to be here as much as anything.
And he's going to be here. He's not going anywhere. He's going to sign here.
I think.
Well, like I said, if
Bryce Harper's not allowing him to leave Philadelphia. That's not happening.
I definitely think Harper's in his ear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, he is, but if another team's, if the Phillies aren't, they came back and talked to him, but nothing's being done right now.
But you don't think Harper's in Middleton's ear saying, "Look, you got to do this. You got to keep him here."
Well, but that's the whole thing. If they want him to be here, sign him now. You know what it's going to take. Give them the money now because it's going to be a boost to the team. Like, hey, this team really wants to win. And you keep leaving them go to the end, and at least that's one more free agent that you don't have to worry about. Dangling out there. Say his agent says, "Hey, let's go out there and test the water," and then, it becomes like Bryce Harper, and you don't have him sign until March of next year. Because he's waiting for the big number. What that number is or should be. Don't try to save that extra $5. And try to get them for a couple $1 million cheaper. Get it done. That's one off the books that you have to worry about because you have to, you're going to have to get Didi Gregorius possibly signed again if he's going to stay here. There's a lot more moves that you got to do. As well, and
you got a lot of money coming off the books, though.
Yeah, I understand that, but
you got a lot of dead money. They're probably going to get insurance money on the relief pitcher from the Yankees, David Robertson. You're probably going to get that contract back. Arrieta is gone.
Right. I mean, I understand.
Thank God.
Well, but you know what? But that's what I'm saying. The money's off. It's not going to signing him today or this week isn't going to affect this year's pay salary. Just get it done.
Behind the scenes, you don't know what's happening.
Right.
How long did it take for us to get Bryce? That felt like months and months.
Well, that's also because of his agent. And he. But what I'm saying is, if JT really wants to be here, if you come to JT and say, you're going to give him 7 years, $175 million to get the $25 million a year, to get the highest over $168 million. He'll take that right now.
How do you know that?
Because we talked. Because we were sitting there at the store. He says, give me a fair contract for both teams or both sides between us and the Phillies, and I'm here. I want to be here.
That was last year, Johnny.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. But if you give that to him now, but if you let him get to the end of the season, I only have a week to go and I might have another team that's going to give me $210 million. Well, no, I'm going to go out there and see what I can get.
Well,
So-
isn't that tampering though? I mean, that's not allowed, right? So
What's that?
that they're negotiating, behind the scenes with another team.
Well, I'm
Before
not
he's a
saying
free agent.
no, but I'm just saying his agent has ideas of what other teams are interested in. His former agent was the Mets agent, or is the GM of the Mets that just got a new ownership that wants to spend money. And another team. Yeah, but another
spending money. They have no clue what they're doing.
No, I understand, but here's the other team that you have to worry about: the Braves. The Braves have that team that always goes out there and spends that 1 year deal for Donaldson last year, Ozuna this year. It gives 15 or 20 to $25 million. You don't think they would say, "Hey, JT, come here with all our prospects, our pitching prospects that we have. It's going to be set up for the next 10 years."
Isn't Freeman a free agent after this year?
Well, he is too, but again, you have all this, all this starting pitching that's all under minor, original contracts that you're not paying big money for. So you get JT, you get him signed. Acuna signed for 10 years or whatever it is. Albies is signed for a while at cheap money. The Braves are a team that you got to worry about. They got a lot of talent, a lot of good pitching.
This is your new your new team, huh?
Well, no, I'm just saying the Yankees are probably the biggest team.
For 3 months, you beat me up. He was going to the Mets because the Mets agent turned GM.
And there's still rumors about him going to the Mets.
Right, and I'm not saying
they're rumors.
Right.
They're rumors.
And it's rumors that the Phillies are going to pay him the money too until they actually do it.
But you don't think that and I'm sorry, Dad, not to bring up a bad subject, but you don't think that them designating Davey for assignment means anything as far as the plan for the catcher process here?
No, because they have
basically saying that Andrew Knapp is our backup. We are dedicated to Knapp as our backup. So Davey's not in the mix anymore.
Well, no, Davey's not, but you got Marcham that's down in the minors that's rubbed off.
Clearwater.
Well, he's in Clearwater, but he's probably 2 years away. And so you can get a cheaper Eric Kratz type of guy. There's free agents that are out there that you can pick up.
Tisk. Bryce
No.
Harper's not allowing that. Stop.
Yeah.
I get it. But I'm just saying
you're not backpedaling. You're not backpedaling on the $330 million. No, stop. I'm not buying any bit of that.
I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying this is what could happen. If you let him get to free agency, you're going to have a big war to get him. Mookie Betts is off the board.
I don't disagree with that, but I don't think they're going to let him get to free agency.
Right.
But like I said, that's why you got to do it now then, because if you let that 1 week go,
maybe they're working on it. Patience, Johnny. Maybe they're working on it. Okay.
they're not working on nothing.
How do you know they're not working on it?
Because he's already said that there's no communication between them.
Who said
JT.
that?
They just said the other day that they're back.
Yeah,
They
they just started to him.
that they're talking to him.
Well, they just said that something. He goes, "You're going to take $10 and come here and sign."
You're going to get thrown out of the room tonight.
Just,
Yeah, no one knows how to work any of this but him.
but
It's
it's just
security.
yeah, it's just one of those things you have to until it's done. It's going to be a big concern because he's that coveted across the league. So, if you let him get that close to free agency, he's going to test the water. Why would he sign if you have that 1 week to sign with the Phillies? Why would he sign with the Phillies in that 1 week when a week from later he's not going to get hurt? He's the season's already over. Why would he not test free agency and say, "Hey, what's out there? The Dodgers, what are you going to pay me? The Yankees, what are you going to pay me? The Braves, whoever. There's top teams in the league that want catching prospects, or catching that's that talented. So, and also right now you might be able to get them a little bit cheaper, and that might lead into the Phillies, if you give them the offer, where you might have to spend another couple $1 million a year if he gets to free agency. That's all.
Then I have a question for you. did you know who JT was before he came here? Was he on anyone's radar?
Absolutely.
Yeah. People knew who he was before he came here to Philadelphia.
That's why we had to give up our top prospect in Sixto Sanchez, who's showing what he was. I mean he's could be the next Pedro Martinez. Is what people were saying. I mean, and what he's throwing out there right now for those first 3 starts, he's showing that he is that good. And
Right.
that's another reason. And that's
No, the reason I'm asking is because on one hand, I think baseball-centric people who really pay attention to the game might have known who he was playing for the Marlins, but coming to the Phillies made him something, made him a name in this game that he wouldn't have otherwise got because nobody pays attention to who's on the Marlins. So I think part of that he understands because without coming to Philadelphia, people like the Yankees and the Mets and the Braves might not have ever really looked at him. He would have always been a good catcher, but he came to Philadelphia and became a great catcher. And I think that speaks for something that I don't think he is going to take lightly when it comes to this. So I don't think he's going to make it to free agency. I think he knows what he has here, and I think Bryce Harper is also in his ear to stay.
Absolutely.
well, but that's also the thing too. What else does he have here compared to some of these other teams? Not saying that the Phillies are bad.
His actual career, we took the shot on him. We took him out of the Marlins, where what was he getting there? An attendance of 10 people?
Yeah, but I don't.
No one would have even known who he was.
No, I disagree on that. But I mean, not that I mean, he was an all-star. He had to coming up. He was an all-star already before coming here.
Right.
So. Everybody knew he was the best catcher in baseball. That's why it took what it took to get him. Fortunately, the Phillies had Sixto in the farm system to be able to get a guy like him.
How's Alfaro doing? Is he even playing yet?
I don't know if he's back from the
I don't
COVID.
think he is.
Yeah,
I don't think he is.
Dad, not to bring up a bad subject, but Davey. I mean, he hasn't even gotten picked up yet. What happens?
He comes back to the Phillies.
Becomes a free agent. He can. What is it? A 3-day rule? He has to 72 hours.
Yeah, and then he, if he doesn't sign, he clears waivers. He's off the 40-man roster, and he comes back to the Phillies.
He's off the 40, the 60.
How excited are you to come back to a team that basically said,
"See ya"?
See ya.
Well, it was more of a roster move because they had to get people off the 40-man roster that he was on. So yes, it is a shot as far as that you were released. But it's one of those things too where if nobody picks him up, that's also another shot, possibly to him as well. That hey, I have a job still here in Philadelphia. I just had to get off the 40-man roster. They didn't have options to send him down because he was up here last year.
You don't think that's like a shot to his confidence that like nobody else wanted me either?
We're trying not to talk about that, but it could be.
I'm just saying. You can't feel great. You get designated for assignment and you're like, I'm here. And everyone's like, that's great.
Yeah, have a nice day.
But also this year's kind of a hard year too to be able to do it because teams only have that 60-man roster spots to be able to bring them over to. That makes it a little hard for teams to claim them as well. So
what happened with Moniak? What was the point in putting him on the 40-man? Everybody thought he was getting traded and he was,
Well, the Phillies never put 60. The Phillies never put 60 people on their roster, so they had spaces available. Moniak was recovering from a slight knee injury, and he was now healthy that he can come up and potentially be here. If he wasn't on the 60-man roster, he couldn't be eligible potentially for the playoffs this year. If for some reason they needed him, so that's if they needed it for a Hazel or a Quinn that would get hurt type of thing. Hopefully not, type of thing. But just for the flexibility to have him, and he was off, back being healthy to be able to come out and play. where he was recovering down in
my,
Clearwater.
my 2 cents, my loyalty to him.
Oh, we've seen the shrine.
I thought he was all in, but I think he went back to the Dominican and, put on a few pounds.
To say the least.
Right.
And I think it really, he couldn't afford, that body can't afford to put on weight. It just slows him down. And, I don't really know. I don't know what his commitment is.
Do you think the COVID break had anything to do with that?
Probably. Sure. Sure. I think it affected everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you don't have a place, if you're not making a lot of money and you have a spot to go and work out and, stay in shape and that sort of thing, whatever, you're going to hit Taco Bell 3 times a day.
Well, that, and plus he knows.
In the Dominican, he's eating better than Taco Bell.
Well, I'm just saying.
But
I'm just saying. My love for the kid. It was heart wrenching to see, but it's happened to others. Hopefully, the right person can talk to him and get his mind straight. I just look at it like, it might be the slap in the face that he needs. It might be the wake up call that he needs.
Of course.
If he truly has a desire to be a professional baseball player in the major leagues, or is he going to settle to just play, in his homeland and, stay with his family?
So here's a question. So say he doesn't get picked up, he comes back to the Phillies. How does he get another shot?
Maybe he works his way through and he has another shot.
Somebody gets hurt. Somebody gets hurt.
He made his way. He made his major league debut last year, and they said back to the minors.
Right.
Well, that's because JT was hurt. That's why he came up. Or he had that little knee injury, and plus the September call-ups, they gave him a shot at that time as well. That they needed an extra catcher in there. Part of his problem too is he knows he's blocked. He's not going to play with JT here. And the Phillies, now, and rightfully so. I mean, Knapp's playing well right now. He's better defensively right now behind the plate than Davey is, and that's
and offensively as well.
Well, now, yeah. I mean, up until this year, yeah, those last 2 years,
30 pounds lighter.
Well, that too, but Knapp got changed, again because of previous coaching that with that swing that he got his swing out of whack, but he's back swinging level again, and and he's shown that he can play. Davey can hit the ball with the best of them. It's just he defensively behind the plate was where he struggled a little bit, and he's got to work on that. And so yeah, I mean there's a lot of mixed feelings. It sucks. For all of us that we know him, that that he has to go through this, but hopefully all the best for him.
Yeah, he's going to be a free agent, even after the season because his his time is up. Same thing with our other guy, Derek Hall. His time is up as well.
There's a lot of guys that are Rule 5, this year as well. Yep. So that's another.
So let's look at this. Let's look at this JT Realmuto thing one more time because of the amount of value that they gave up for him. They gave up a lot, right?
Absolutely.
How are the Phillies ownership going to justify not re-signing him if they let him walk and you've lost what you gave up?
Right.
How do they justify that? What is their direction at that point? What are they going to say to the fan base at that point? We didn't want to pay him $175 million. When you turn around and somebody else pays them the same amount of money.
Well, it's the landscape changed. I mean, it's one of those things. They're going to have their spins. I mean, just like last year, they didn't. They're going to say, well, he wanted the 7th year, and we're not. We don't think that we should pay a catcher into the 7th year. Just like we lost Corbin last year.
So how old?
He's going to be 30.
Corbin was never a Philly, though.
I understand
the
that.
Phillies never traded for him. I'm talking
No.
about a guy that you've brought in, and like Lauren said, you brought him to Philadelphia. It's a winning team. You've got a championship manager that's won 1,000 games now. And he's a former catcher as well.
Oh, the fit's perfect here for him. Yes, I get that.
I feel like I got to sell you on JT Realmuto more than anything.
No, JT, we're good. I want him to be here. I'm gonna be, like you said. You and I are gonna be the two biggest disappointed people here on. If he's not brought back here.
I just think the Philly fan base is going to go crazy.
Berserk.
They are, but look how many other times we've been
anything of this magnitude. I can't think of any.
Kurt Schilling, I guess. If
Kurt ran his mouth out of here.
I understand, but it's one of those things too where his paycheck his checkbook might be too big for Philadelphia. To compete, because like you said, we're up against the cap as it is right now. We couldn't even spend less than $1 million at the deadline here because we're up against the salary cap. Yes, we're going to lose probably $60 million off of that.
I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that.
Well, it could be depending on if you let Didi walk, then yes, then it will be more than that. But Didi's been proven that he's worth it here. He's got to come back
to a longer contract and stretch out the money.
Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
And that's great. But like I said, it's just one of those things that there's another guy that you have to sign. So you got to lock up what you can when you can, and not let it get to that point where we got JT to sign, we got Didi to sign, we got what are you going to do with Jay Bruce? I mean, he's a guy that's been critical here with this team.
But he's not worth $18 million anymore.
Right.
Well, but is he going to? And that's he's still going to get paid, whether it's $10 million. Maybe it's a lesser contract. He's still a guy that you might want to keep here.
Yeah.
As a bat, depending on what his price tag is, he may be a guy that's going to get cut because of his salary, and I get that. But it's just things that you have to look at because you're going to have to replace that bat, in the lineup somewhere.
That's small. That's small marbles. He's a fringe player at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'll take that fringe bat every day.
Are you telling me you're gonna let that be the stumbling point for signing JT because you got Bruce?
No. JT's your number one. JT and Didi are your one and two. Big market things. Another starter we're going to need too because you're going to lose Arrieta.
Is he a starter?
Well, he is now. What I mean? So you need another guy to replace them in the rotation because Spencer Howard was going to be potentially that guy, but he's already here now. With Velasquez being gone out of the rotation, which should have been. So it's just another spot that you have to spend another $20-some million on him as well, whoever that starting pitcher is going to be. It's one of those things where you got a lot of things.
Here's the deal. There's 10 minutes left.
Yep.
We got to talk some Sixers.
Do we have to?
Okay. Sixers.
Why?
That's it.
Did you guys see the message that Jay Wright put out today?
Yes.
No.
He is out. He is out as a Sixers. Yes. No. He's honored, but he's out.
I think everybody saw that coming.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course. It's
so now who do you go after? Who would be their number one person to fill that slot?
I guess it's got to be who? That what's his name?
Tyrone Lue.
Lue.
Or Mark Jackson was another name that's being thrown out there.
The Lou's intriguing because he could run Phil Jackson's triangle offense. That's intriguing.
but it wasn't that intriguing to LeBron James, and he kicked them. He booted him to the curb.
Did they not win a championship in Cleveland?
With Lou?
Yes.
But he kept he didn't want them back, so doesn't mean
because LeBron changes, every year he wants to play on a new team.
It's like changing his underwear.
Okay, we'll take them right here.
It's just one of those. It's just one of those things. I don't know. I don't know that there is a good fit.
So what do you do with the Sixers at this point? Do you leave some pieces, or you just dismantle the whole team and start new?
Well, a team that needs their big boy pants. It's the Sixers.
So we need a
lock up a coach first.
Well, of course
Right.
you do, but you need a coach that's going to make the players put their big boy pants on and not
But do you find a coach that's going to work with the current team, or do you find a coach and then build a team around him?
Well, you kind of have. I mean, you don't have pieces that you can move to easily if you can move them at all. At least that you want to move. You don't want to leave Simmons and Embiid go. You want to build around them, but how do you do that with Horford and Harris contracts? Type of thing. So, you're strapped a little bit that way. When you have $500 million tied up in your starting, rotation, So yeah, I mean, they're tough. I just don't like the Embiid throwing, the Sixers under the bus a little bit. With his Jimmy Butler comments and and now coming out and throwing the coach under the bus a little bit, and when Brett Brown had his back the whole time. And Mr. Softy needed his butt kicked a little bit every once in a while, here and there, which would have been.
Well, we talked about that. We talked
Right.
about how he doesn't have the leadership presence that we need him to have.
He's not mature enough.
Right.
Not even a little.
He'll take the good, but when it's bad, it's somebody else's fault.
Right. And that's
what a toddler does.
Right, and exactly, and that's the problem with Simmons and him. They both think that they're the greatest players that ever played basketball, and they have no heart to go out there and be a LeBron James and dominate a game the best that they can, and when they could do that every night themselves and be in that caliber of the top 10 players in the league every night, Could their stats be up in that top 10? Yes, but you do a team, you're not picking those guys first. So, it's one of those things. It's when it comes to a winning team. I mean, look at the Celtics now beating up on Toronto. That's not a good thing.
That was game one, right?
No, they were up 2-0.
Are they up 2-0 now?
Really?
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, and they were down big in the second game there, and they came back and won. So, Boston's playing well. Which might take a little bit of this thing away, somewhat of the Sixers' loss. Just with Simmons being out, that you're not at you weren't at full strength and you played them half decent, but
I'd really
in close games.
I'd like to see a coach come in here basically with this team to see a different, philosophy and,
Right.
Light a fire under these guys, with a system. I don't think Brett Brown ever had a system. I just don't ever. It just never seemed like they were playing as a team. I think you need a Phil Jackson type, somebody of that caliber that's won before, and,
Right.
and can light a fire under these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think somebody like that exists that would want to come in here? And
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You have the
There's
talent. You
too
have the
much
talent here.
There's too much talent. Philadelphia is a winning city, winning tradition. It's a basketball town going all the way back to the Wilt Chamberlain days,
Right.
the Dr. J days. You know, they're always in the house. You know, and you know, we were this close. You know, we were this close. I mean, and it just basically all fell apart. You
Right.
know, so I think, you know, I'd like to see the right coach with this team. You know,
Right.
because I think, you know, I mean, is Joel Embiid soft? He sure appears to be, you know, and he talks a good game, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'd like to see you get the right chemistry, the right coach, you know, and see what happens.
So when's the next season start? They start in January or December or January?
I don't know that they've announced, have they?
Not really. I mean, they were talking December. I guess, you know, it depends on. You know,
I don't know. I think they're just trying to get through the bubble and
Right.
get all that, you know, finished up. So
there was talks about Christmas, but
but if even if they do start in December, they don't really have. It's not a lot of time to find somebody like that.
I'm sure there's. You know, there'll be somebody that's going to, you know, jump out. You know, hopefully, you know, it's somebody that we recognize and trust.
Right.
You know, that it'll be a good choice. Lauren, you got anything else for us?
Just our takeaways for the night.
Before that, what are you doing?
that.
What are you doing for your birthday week? Anything you can share with the public?
What am I doing? Let's see. Well, Anthony has a movie night tomorrow night and Friday night, so I'll be there. I'll be seeing Shrek tomorrow night and Frozen 2 on Friday, which I'm looking forward to because I never saw that. And I'm off tomorrow from work, thank God. And Saturday I'll be going to the aquarium, and then I'll be having dinner with you, Dad and Mom. And then Sunday, we're going to have a little bar crawl here in Reading. So if anyone's in the area and wants to stop by, we'll be doing that around 2:00.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Who's going to start the takeaways, John?
Yep. Well, I will. Well, first, happy birthday to you tomorrow, or a little early.
Thank you.
And then also we got our fantasy football. We had so much talking going on. We didn't have a little bit to talk about it. We have a lots going on here with this Fans View. The fantasy football is back. We're 1 week away, starting tomorrow from the season. So go onto the page and make your votes for your team, and we're going to run it basically the same as we did last year. Having it the viewers versus the host. This year we're adding another host here. We got Lauren and Anthony are going to team up as the fourth team. So we got each week you're going to play one of us, and then eventually lose to us, but and we will have every viewer is going to vote on the board, get your 14 players in, and the majority of the winner of all those votes will be the viewers team. And if you're one of those persons to vote for the player that was the viewers team, who scored the most points, you get entered into a drawing on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and your name will be randomly picked from out of those numbers, and you'll win a prize for the week. What better game is that? It's free and you get to win prizes every week. The only thing you have to do is make sure you contact us either at the store or one of us to make arrangements to get your prize, because we had a lot of people not claiming them right away. So we want to make sure that everything's claimed that week, or just give us the money for the shipping and we'll ship it to your house if we have to, or make arrangements to pick it up that week. If not, that prize will be moved on to next week as the following week. So there will be consequences this year.
John, laying on the wall this year.
smacking it down. Put on our big boy pants. It's year 2.
Yeah.
As AV would say, he stole that line from me too.
Shit's getting real.
Sure.
And then
Man,
this year too,
I hate to be married to you if they don't sign JT Realmuto.
it's not going to be fun around here.
No.
I mean, you'll be right there with me. We'll be we'll be driving the bus together to get him here.
And
Yeah.
what if they trade Reese Hoskins?
Well, hey, like I said, you just got to stick with him. Look what he's doing right now. He's carrying this team.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like us sticking with you.
Well, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, I guess.
Mario, what do you got?
So I will start off with saying happy birthday, Lauren. Are we doing the first anniversary of your 29th birthday?
No, I don't think I'm there yet, but
Okay.
check with me next year.
Okay. All right. We might be repeating 30 over and over again.
Yes.
So, well, welcome to the big 3-0.
Thank you.
Other than that, it's Labor Day weekend. So everybody be safe, have fun. And that's pretty much all I got. Go Flyers.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So,
So my takeaway is another week in the books. Sports is on fire in this town. Philly sports is the absolute best in my world. So I certainly appreciate all that we're able to talk about and do and run contests and thank all these fine folks for joining us every Wednesday night. It is Labor Day weekend, so if you're going into labor, good luck.
I don't think that's what that's for.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
On labor.
I don't think that's that.
Oh, okay. So, cheers. Have a great rest of the week, and an awesome Labor Day weekend. Lauren.
So my takeaway, since Anthony is absent, and Ross actually asked about it earlier, so everyone has been hot for these bobbleheads right here. So this is Carlos
Huge.
Ruiz bobblehead. It's actually pretty nice. That right now, if you go to the Fightins online store and spend $40, you'll get it for free. And it wasn't a surprise or anything crazy. They were going to use these this year as part of the promotional night for Chooch. So they weren't giving them away. I guess I'm allowed to say that they were going to use them. If you bought a deck ticket, you would get the bobblehead. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to tell everyone that, but hey, I guess, so here we go. So yeah, they were going to use them this year when he was inducted into their Hall of Fame. That didn't happen. So they decided to put them out now. So I don't know what that means for next year exactly. So don't ask me that. But they are available right now. So go spend $40 and get yourself a free bobblehead.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
all right.
Go Fightins. Always
Go
doing
Fightins.
stuff in the community. Baseball town charities. Doing stuff with high school baseball. Just a phenomenal bunch of people that are trying to figure out just to get people together. So movie night. What's the other event they got going?
They have a night golf.
Yeah, night golf. They got a lot of
Yes,
stuff
they have
going on.
one
so-
more night golf coming up on September 12th. As of this morning, I think there were a few foursomes still available.
Okay.
So if anyone's interested in playing, I was there this past Saturday. It's a pretty cool setup, especially if you're a golf person. I would imagine that's kind of a different setup than what you're used to. So definitely cool, and all the money's donated to charity. So
Nice.
Very nice.
Very cool. Guys, another great night.
Yep.
Appreciate everything. John, don't be mad at us.
Never mad.
oh,
Never mind.
he looks mad.
He does.
My eyes are watering. That's why.
It looks like some warm water you're drinking.
Yeah, exactly. My eyes are a little dry.
All right.
God, all
Trying to
right.
get ready for
Guys,
the fantasy
Have
draft.
a great weekend.
Have a great week.
Thanks. You too.
See you
Yep.
guys.
Take care.
See you later.